welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I uploaded last. It's been crazy 6 months, let me tell you. We moved from Wyoming back to Las Vegas, our hometown, and it's just been a journey. Wyatt is doing amazing. I know I haven't really showed or shared any information on him and how he's doing so well, but I've made this video for you guys so I can explain a little bit why we go to Boston and all the organizations that we use. So 2 years ago when Wyatt was born, I had no idea what to do. I've never had a medically compromised child, special needs child, anything like that, so it was all new for me. And if I give you guys any information that I have, so I wrote down some questions for you guys. We were in Wyoming and there was no hospital. There wasn't any big hospitals, little hospitals. We had to travel to Salt Lake, so that was about 2.5 hours. We went to primaries every time we had a line infection, a fever, you name it, we had to go to primaries. So Wyatt was 8 months to a year old. They just told us, you know what, look, the GI doctor told Nick and I, my husband, that they couldn't do anything else for my son. He has clots, and I don't know what these are called, but he has clots on each side. They just said, you know what, this is his last line, his central line, because he's had 17 central lines, and he was not even 2. He was, I think he was like 13 months old. He was so little for him to not have access anywhere, not even in his groins, not even, you know, anywhere that they could have put it. So Omaha was number 2 and Boston was number 1 ranked in children's hospitals in the world, well, the US, I think. But so I did some research, and it was really hard for my insurance to accept the fact that I wanted to switch from primary children's in Utah to Boston because it was such a long haul. And they, you know, they fought it for a while. It was really hard for our insurance to accept it. And that was one of the hardest things that we tried to hurdle over. But they did accept it. There's an organization called Children's Flight of Hope that we use every time we go to Boston. And all of our flights are paid for, so we don't have to pay out of our pocket every time we fly Wyatt to Boston for checkups. And we go every 2 months. Back in December, Wyatt did get his line removed. It was a miracle. Oh, it brings tears to my eyes that it can happen to you like it happened to us. Just have faith, believe in whatever you believe in. I never thought this day would come. Salt Lake said that Wyatt would never live past 1.5, and he's almost 3 in November, so it can happen. It truly can if you are an advocate for your child. It can happen to you. And don't believe everything that the doctor says. Research. Do a lot of research. Ask 15 other moms that are going through the same thing, or reach out to multiple doctors. Don't just take one doctor's advice, because if I took that doctor's advice from Salt Lake, I would have no hope in Wyatt. So it is extremely difficult for one doctor to explain something and say, you know what, he's not gonna have a quality of life that you guys want him to. He's almost 3 and he has no central line. He's doing amazing. He's eating on his own. He has his G-tube still, but I would take that in a heartbeat over a central line. A lot of questions on, you know, what kind of formula Wyatt's on, how many mils, what it takes to get your child off TP, and it could be different from Wyatt's situation to your guys's, but I'm going to tell you what we are doing currently and how Wyatt got off of TPN. The first one, he's on 62 mils of formula. It's Elecare Junior. All the medicines that Wyatt's currently taking right now is Imodium twice a day, 2 tablets crushed up with some water. I want to say between like 2 to 5 mils of water. And then he's also doing canola oil to help with the fat, 5 mils of that once a day. And then he's also doing baking soda. So his bicarb was a 13 at the time of when we got his labs drawn, which is pretty low. It's supposed to be like a 23, 24. So we do that once a day, and we do 1/4 tablespoon once a day to help with his bicarb. And he got his blood drawn the following week, and it went up to a 23. So it's helping really, really well. And that's to help with dehydration, because if he's dehydrated, then, and we don't have a central line, so if he gets dehydrated, we either have to take him to the hospital or watch how many pee diapers he has throughout the day in a 24-hour period. So it's really, really, really hard to make sure he doesn't get dehydrated, because that's the main factor with no central line. Because if he had a central line, we could hook him up to D10 or NS, and he could get the water intake that way. So those are all of our meds that we currently are on right now, and but it's the best decision I've ever made, and I will say that till the day I die, because Wyatt is healthy. He is perfect. He is a ball of joy. He runs, he has his backpack on, but it doesn't stop him from anything. He is one active boy, and he'll be 3 in November. So he understands now that he is almost 3. He understands that he has to wear his backpack, that he has to be hooked up at certain times, that we have to do water flushes throughout the day, that we have to do all these medications. And he sits down and he pushes the syringe, and it melts my heart that he wants to help be a part of his medical journey, which is amazing.